Now available for the first time in paperback. Stop Simping in the Workplace. Men, learn what you need to know in order to protect your job from workplace predators with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available in paperback at online booksellers everywhere. In a previous video, I talked about the beta male short circuit. And I'm going to talk about something related to the beta male short circuit in this video, which is beta male rage. Now, beta male rage usually comes after a beta male has their short circuit. And the beta male rage is something that happens when a beta male first sees a glimpse of the reality of a red pill world. And usually, when the beta male sees a glimpse of the reality of a red pill world, what happens is the beta male will try to suppress his feelings regarding it, and he will deny what happens when he sees that glimpse of the world. And because he is denying what's going on and suppressing his feelings about it, he is simmering and boiling on the inside. And what's happening as he's simmering and boiling on the inside is that he's having this short circuit in his mind going on. And over time, what happens is he has these short circuits and they spark on all those feelings he's suppressing. And those feelings he's suppressing are simmering and boiling on the inside. And the reason why those feelings are simmering and boiling on the inside is because when it comes down to the beta male, he is trying to reconcile the logic that he was taught by his single mother and in some cases his beta male father regarding the world. Because when it comes down to the beta male, he has been taught to see the world from a gynocentric and female perspective. And oftentimes he tries to use gynocentric and female approaches in a world that expects him to behave and approach life like a man. So you have this man trying to use the approaches of a woman to try to navigate a course in the world. And as he tries to apply these approaches to social situations like trying to have relationships with women or trying to interact with women or trying to get a job or navigate trying to work in a workplace, he has these short circuits because the world is expecting him to navigate a course in the world as a man. But what happens is because he's been raised to behave and socialize like a female, he often runs into rejections, failures, and losses. And those lead to those short circuits in his mind. And those short circuits lead to him simmering and boiling in anger as he continues to suppress more and more of his feelings. And the beta male's approach, as he gets these glimpses of reality, what happens is he continues to deny his feelings, he simmers and boils, and then eventually the short circuits lead to an eventual explosion. And the reason why he's having that explosion is because he continues to apply the exact same approaches to life from that female perspective, and he doesn't understand that doing more of the exact same things do not lead to a different result, because the beta male's solution to every situation, no matter how much things aren't working out, is to do more of the exact same things. Now, this is the definition of insanity, but in the beta male's mind, he believes that things will change if he does more of the exact same things. And that's what eventually leads to this eruption of an explosion and then him lashing out at people in a spectrum of violence. Now, this spectrum of violence can be anything from him yelling at a woman and calling her a B word and a C word or an H word to him hitting a woman, to him participating in horrific acts of sexual violence or violence like a mass shooting. And the reason why he's doing this again is because he's in this beta male rage. And the beta male rage, again, starts with him suppressing his feelings once he gets a glimpse of reality and things that don't fit his narrow frame of logic that he was taught by this female. And as he keeps trying to reconcile the logic he was taught by his mother, he then keeps short circuiting as he keeps trying to apply more of the same approaches in the hopes of changing things, but things do not change. And this is what happens when you have beta male rage. Beta males just cannot reconcile the fact that the logic he was taught was faulty, the things he was taught about life were wrong, and the things that he was taught about life just do not work. And what exacerbates the situation is that your beta male always puts females on pedestals, and because he puts females on a pedestal, he cannot reconcile the fact that the female who told him all of these things about life was wrong, and he cannot deal with the fact that everything he learned from this female is wrong because he always put his mother on a pedestal and he put the women in his life on a pedestal, and if they are wrong, that means that there's something wrong with him. And this is something he just cannot deal with, and that's why he's in this rage, and eventually that rage eventually leads to him going out here and participating in these acts of violence or losing complete control of himself. Now, the beta male rage is a complete contrast to the red pill rage because when men take the red pill, they experience red pill rage as they start to understand the reality of the world around them, revolving around them, and the way females are. Because the red pill rage is a man's first exposure to the real world and the first exposure to the way females behave and the nature of females overall. And men who take the red pill, usually they know how to navigate their emotions a little better. And because they are navigating through their emotions, what they're doing is they are learning to feel, but they're learning not to act on their feelings. And overall, they're starting to accept that this is the way the world works for men, and this is just the way women are. Because when it comes down to men who take the red pill, they understand that this is just how women are, and they don't see it as some sort of betrayal. Eventually, they accept that this is just the way their mother is, this is just the way the culture she was taught, and she was just teaching them what she knew. So she was coming from what she knew from her perspective. And they accept that point in life, and then they eventually deal with the fact that this is just the way that women are, and they move on with their life. And in many cases, they decide to go their own way and set their own course in life and decide instead of trying to appease and please women, they're going to put themselves first, focus on what they want to do in life, and look towards making themselves happy and living the best life they could possibly have for themselves. So the man who takes the red pill, he sees the reality for what it is, he accepts it for what it is, he navigates through his feelings regarding things, and eventually he understands that there is no real way to change the woman, but there is a way to change themselves and have the best life for themselves by themselves. So that man who takes the red pill, he is in a better position than the beta male who is in the beta male rage. Because the beta male, what he's going to try to do as part of his coping process is he's going to try to either fix the female or try to destroy the female, because in his mind, if he cannot make the female be in a way that is acceptable to him, where he can fix her to a way that he can have his smooth world where he can continue to worship her, he's going to then try to destroy her. And that's what happens with many of these beta males. If they cannot have this woman be the ultimate fantasy image in their mind, they go out of their way to try to destroy that woman for trying to destroy his idea of her. Now, the man who takes the red pill, in contrast, he accepts this woman as she is. He accepts the world as it is, and he just goes on with his life. He can look this woman directly in the eye and see her for who she is, and he's not making efforts to try to either fix the pedestal like the beta male will do that he worships her on, or try to destroy her and the pedestal because he cannot reconcile the fact that this is what this woman truly is. When it comes down to the beta male rage, it is the most dangerous kind of rage out there because when it comes down to the beta male, he is the guy who has been suppressing his feelings for many years. He's been suppressing his emotions regarding things for many years. And in many cases, he just can't deal with the reality that is in front of him. And eventually, his feelings regarding that reality eventually explode. And that's why he participates in many of these horrific acts of violence in a spectrum of violence because he just can't deal with the reality regarding females and female nature, and he cannot deal with the reality that many of the women who he trusted and believed in some cases worshipped, lied to him about the way the world works or the approaches of the world, or never went out of their way to teach him ways to survive in the world. And that's why he is in this beta male rage, because he can't make the world work for him, so he's going to go and destroy the world around him. And that's what makes beta males ticking time bombs, because they are living in a blue pill fantasy regarding the world, and all it takes is one taste of a red pill going down the wrong way to leading to them exploding, because they just can't cope with the reality of the world as it is. Meanwhile, the red pill man, he can deal with the reality because once he's had that red pill and seen the truth about the world, he can then set a course for himself to survive in it because he understands what is around him. Will not there are some things in reality he cannot change, he cannot fix, so he accepts those things as they are and then sets a course so he can have a life for himself, and he builds around those things he cannot fix and just decides to just move on. That's what the man who takes the red pill does. He just accepts that females are who they are. He looks them dead in the eye, sees them for what they are, and then decides to do what he needs to do in order to survive in the world. And then he just moves on to doing and having the best life for himself. And when it comes down to the beta male rage, it is a scary thing, but all it takes is to fix the beta male rage is for the guy to take this red pill, accept what he sees, and accept it for the truth, and then try to navigate from the beta male rage to the red pill rage, and then navigate a life for himself where he puts himself first, and then he can finally start moving forward, because the beta male rage is a place where a beta male can stay if he wants to, but once he tests that taste of reality, he can move past it and then move forward by getting through the red pill rage and then moving towards the reality where he learns a course to start going his own way. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to read some of my men's issues books like the Simp series, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.